Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Today I'm making a spread because it's still hot and I really don't want to do any more cooking than I have to. So it's a sardine spread. My husband created this recipe and it's really quite good. And I'm going to serve it with, I think, deviled eggs. Right now I'm opening 4 cans of sardines and I'm going to drain them. The sardines I got are in soybeans, and each can is 3.75 ounces or 1.6 grams, I think. G is for grams, I think. Oh. Not a lot of people are overly fond of sardines because they're very greasy. I drain mine to get some of that oil off, take some of the fish flavor away. Not too much. Like I said, I'm draining. By the way, this is a cold platter. Now we're going to need half of an onion for 4 cans. Now you want this onion minced. That's why I'm going to be cutting it really, really fine. Because this is a spread, you don't want it too chunky. The vegetables all have to be minced for this. When they say minced, they mean, you know, just chopped really fine, or cut really, really fine. What? Okay, well that one's changing. You're gonna need 1 garlic. I'm using a large one. You could use 3 small ones if you want, or if you don't like the taste of garlic too much, you can use a lesser amount, but that's a choice you make. I prefer a large one or 3 small ones. A lot of people have a cholesterol problem, which means you've got fat in the arteries and stuff, which also, I guess you could say, they give you blood thinners to keep it all going and all. But there's 2 vitamins that eat fat up in your arteries and everything else. And it's called choline and inositol. But remember, you cannot take these 2 without taking the rest of the B's at the same time. So if you even, and you can find, so soy lecithin has these 2 B vitamins. Find soy lecithin in a health food store. And it eats fat up left and right. It clears out your arteries. They're clean. If you don't believe me, I'm going to talk about a guy. Our sons were at the, what was it called? A special school. And it was amazing. This guy came up the stairs, 1 flight of stairs, we're talking 13 steps. He barely made it up the steps. Barely made it up. And he collapsed into the chair. Well, my curiosity just drove me. So my husband and I asked, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yeah, I'm all right." "Well, what's wrong with you?" You know? He's a young man. I mean, he's not 60, 70, or 80. I mean, we're talking about a 40-year-old man. And he proceeded to tell us that he had a cholesterol problem. And he was on blood thinners and everything else. And the only thing that he could eat, now listen, this is his diet. The only thing he could have was chicken. All the fat and everything had to be cut off the chicken, and he could eat raw vegetables, but he could not have salads, oils, or anything like that. He couldn't have milk or anything else. So he was pretty limited on what he could eat because of his high cholesterol that he had. So, and I said, you know, choline and inositol eat fat up in the body. The liver produces a whole tablespoon of this a day. He didn't know it. And I said, you could buy lecithin and take it, but you're going to have to take a B complex with it because you'll throw the other B's off if you don't sit there and take it. And he said, okay. He said, I'm willing to try it because his wife loved him, his children, they didn't want to see him die. You know, they loved their father and she loved her husband. And I told him, well, look, I want you to take 2 tablespoons of lecithin in the morning with half a glass of milk. He said he couldn't have milk. Could he put it in orange juice? I said, sure. And take, with a B complex, take a B complex. I had him on B complex 100 and 2 tablespoons of lecithin in his orange juice for lunch. And then at night, in other words, he's going to get 6 tablespoons of lecithin a day. Now, but I warned him. I said, look, when you go on this, your body's going to start throwing fat out all over the place. I told him your urine is going to be floating in fat. Your bowels are going to shoot out of you. Make sure you get to the bathroom. There's going to be a few problems from it, and you're going to sweat like crazy. Your feet are going to stink. So make sure you take a pair of extra socks. You're going to need this. He said, okay, I'll try it. He said, how long will it take? I said, I don't know, because I don't know how high your cholesterol is, but from what I have read, people get great results from this. He said, okay. Did he follow what I said? No, he did not. What he did was he went home, he put a whole, he got his lecithin he bought. I told him where he could get a good deal on it in the B complex, you know. This man, I love Tony. He is a gem. This man is a gem. And he sat there in the morning, and he decided he was going to do it his way. Let me get my chopping knife. I can't believe this man did it. By the way, you should always use fresh parsley when you sit there and use this dish. Dry parsley does not cut it for this dish, okay? So he proceeded to take a full glass of orange juice. We're talking 8 ounces. He filled his glass half full of lecithin, half full, and he drank it. And he drank it. Doctor had an appointment for him 6 months later. And we saw him every week because our sons, our sons and his sons, their sons were, going to the same school. We saw him every week. By the 6th week, by the 6th month, he was running up those stairs, skipping steps, doing stuff you would not believe. He had the energy to walk, get around. He wasn't huffing and puffing, nothing. This man was on the go. And he didn't tell me he went to see his doctor. I was sitting down and he came up the stairs and he sat there and said, stand up. I said, oh boy, I'm in trouble now, okay? He spun me around and gave me the biggest hug. His cholesterol was down to normal. He was so happy. Doctor took him off the blood thinners and stuff. He and the doctor was questioning his authority, his schooling. He said, I thought you had a cholesterol. He started questioning his skills as a doctor because the cholesterol had disappeared. And we didn't see him when our children left the school there. We didn't see him for a long time. Put in as much parsley as you want. I'm sorry. And he was doing well. And then one day we saw him like 5-6 years later. And he brought up that the doctor found a clot in his leg again. I said, did you stay on that? He said, no, I only used it. I said, if a doctor gives you medication, do you stay on it? He said, yes. I said, well, it's evident your liver has problems. So you don't have to take half a cup every day. I said, but if you take a tablespoon 3 times a day, you should be fine. He said, well, I didn't think I had. I said, did you hear what I told you? You'll be taking it for the rest of your life, but you didn't have to take it in that dosage once you got it down. This is what the nutritionist has said, and I was just telling him about what a nutritionist said of how to bring your cholesterol down. We didn't see him again, but he said he'd get back on it, and believe you me, as much as he was loving life, I know he went back on it. And he was a gem. He told me the greatest joy in his life, besides having his children and marrying, he said, was, Sandy, when my cholesterol went down, I took my wife out and I ordered a beef steak with marbling and mashed potatoes, and I put cream cheese and butter, salt and pepper. I had a salad that had dressing on it. He was so happy that I had changed his life, and I didn't change it. I just brought information to him that a nutritionist had done, and it worked for him, and he was so happy, and I was so happy that I could help him. But I'll never forget Tony. I'm sure, I don't know if he's still alive or not. I haven't seen him in many years. Because I don't go into Brooklyn very often anymore because everything is going on. But that was a story of a friend that was unbelievable. All right, we're going to add a little bit of black pepper in this. I can't tell you. I'm reading the instructions the way they're written. It just says a little black pepper. You start off with 1/4 of a teaspoon if you want and just see how it tastes and adjust it. We're going to need a little paprika. I mean, this is how the instructions are written. You can't do it any other way. And a little oregano. I'm really using about 1/2 teaspoon of each, and we'll see how it goes. Because it just says this, the instructions, the only place where you get really exact is the garlic, the onion, and the sardines. The rest is, they just generalize it, all right. Now we want some fresh lemon juice. But that's the story of a man, Tony. He has my blessings every time I see him. God bless him. So there are B vitamins out there that can help you, but you have to always remember, if you need one B vitamin and you're going to take more of it, you've got to make sure you cover all the other B vitamins, because if you don't, you're correcting one problem, but then you're creating other problems because you don't have the other B's. They have to come together and go up like this. If you notice, I use a lot of wheat germ. I use whole wheat flours. I try to keep that balance going all the way. And I use brewer's yeast as well, bringing it up as well, because I want to make sure. So if I'm going to take lecithin, I would definitely make sure I take a B complex with it to make sure that I keep it going all the time. People are quick to swallow medication, but with vitamins, Okay. All right, lemon juice on my glasses. Thank goodness I don't have to do much more reading. Gotta clean them. You know what? I'm going to put a little zest in this as well. So I've had some very interesting in my life. But I think Tony stole the cake. He really stole the cake. And his wife did everything to help him. This is like 1/4 of a teaspoon that I'm putting in. gonna add some mayonnaise here. The mayonnaise you have to adjust. Like I said, this instructions, they don't give you a lot to go on, so you're pretty much winging it on some things. I'm actually gonna stuff this into celery ribs and take some sourdough bread, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm gonna toast it. After I thin slice, I'm gonna toast it, then I'm gonna quarter it like little crackers. I think it's better than the crackers because the crackers in the store I'm not overly fond of. That cracker recipe, if you took it from me, don't do it. Don't use that one. That one I could, oh, that one was horrible. They were like rocks hours later. I mean, you'd have to eat them as they come out of the oven. And that doesn't make any sense. I want to add some salt to this. The reason I started mixing my kelp into my salt was because my heart was racing. And since I did this, it doesn't do it anymore. And I lived with that problem my whole life. When I looked up kelp, it said it had low sodium in it. I said, okay. But it had a high a high iodine. I said, oh, that's great. Now that I like. I need more. Like I told you, I had my blood pressure at 220 over 200. And that was under a lot of stress. Everything I'm doing is adjusting to my taste now. That's it. And this is how much it makes. As you can see, it makes a good amount. Oh. No, I'm not cooking today. I might boil eggs to make deviled eggs, but that will be it. spell rice, I'll be happy. Well, anyway, that's how you make a sardine spread. It was my husband's, he actually created it. Take care, stay comfortable today. Bye-bye.